analytics tell me that Texas Roadhouse might be the most popular chain restaurant in America, so let's get their drinks and see if they're any good! Are you ready? Let's go!
Did you break?
Yeah! So here on the Chains of America How to Drink Ongoing series, where I go with Meredith to chain restaurants and sample their wares and bring them back to my laboratory in these handy-dandy cooling cans to see if they were any good and if we can make them any better. We go to these places and sometimes it's hard to pick what we're gonna pick. You know, there's a lot of things on the menu and I've only got 3 of these. And also, if I ordered one of every drink on the menu and they all just disappeared mysteriously from the table, I think they already know. But I think that then that would be really bad. Like, that would be really obvious. So we have to pick. We picked 3. We did Kenny Chesney's Blue Juice. We did the Cactus Water and the Margarita Hurricane. We got all 3 of those, and I don't know which is which. We didn't label them, so this one that's in my hand is up first. What is the hell is this? I don't know what this is. I don't know what's in my cooler here. We got the Hurricane Margarita. Now, did you read the menu on this?
So the menu just says Captain Morgan Spice Rum, Grenadine, Orange, and Pineapple juices blended with our signature margarita.
So they took their margarita and they slapped kind of a weak sounding bad Hurricane on top of it. It's a twofer. They just took one drink and poured another drink into it. It's pretty crazy. I like that idea. Oh, and this is with the kicker, because we were advised by our waitress that there's not enough alcohol in these. So I was like, all right, I guess so. We got to get the kicker then. Woo! It's a salty drink. It's a salty gal. I didn't realize how much of the rim wound up in our cooler there. So this got pineapple juice in it. You can taste it. And a lot of salt. And some pink. And some kind of lemon or lime tart. But mostly I just taste pineapple, salt, and lime. This isn't great. Salty. What they did at the Texas Roadhouse was that they took some hurricane-esque parts and they poured them into a margarita. And I think that is the wrong way to make a hurricane a margarita. Well, that's what I'm thinking, is that like maybe it should just be a tequila-based hurricane. So like take a hurricane, but make it a tequila.
Yeah, replace the rum with... I wonder what that would taste like.
Let's think about this. Let's think about our base. We got our... Yeah. I think we can make this pretty good. I think we can make this really good. Let's cut some limes. Cut up some limes, so I'm ready with my limes. My limes are ready. All right, next move is shaker. Yeah, I know this recipe calls for Captain Morgan spiced rum, but I did just make my own spiced rum. I am tempted to utilize it here to some amount. Cool. Ooh. My beautiful spiced rum. So this is really cool. Oh my God, it smells delicious. And this is like spicy spiced rum. It doesn't taste like Captain Morgan. We did that spiced rum episode. I'll put a link in the pin comment below just recently. The Captain Morgan kind of just read like vanilla. And I'm not trying to make their recipe. I'm trying to make an answer to that recipe. Now this tastes like spices. Woo, that's a spicy rum. I don't know that I've got a use for it in this drink, but I'm definitely going to keep it in mind as I build. That could really kind of, if this ends up too sweet at some point, half an ounce of that could fix us, really counter the spices. So the first thing I'm going to try is 1 ounce of lime juice. Let's get an ounce of lime juice in my tin. I wanted to have the snap of a sharp margarita, but with the kind of floral sweetness of a hurricane. So I love my dry curacao, but dry curacao it's not actually that dry. It's kind of a sweeter brandy. Cointreau though is tart. This is sharp, tart, sharp. And we learned that in the Margarita Matrix episode. So I'm gonna add an ounce of Cointreau. Now we got lime and Cointreau, equal parts. Smelling good, smelling good. This is Cocktail & Sons Fassionola. Fassionola is an obnoxiously complicated syrup to make. It involves like, we did it once. We made our own on the show. And we'll put a link to that episode in the pinned comment below in case you want to make your own. But once a year, Cocktail & Sons sells their own Fassionola, and they'll let you buy as many as 6 of these bottles at a time. And I did. I bought all 6, and I'm still sitting on them because I don't use them that much. It's a hibiscus simple syrup with a lot of other parts to it, and it is the key ingredient in the Hurricane. It's just one of those syrups that doesn't come up for anything else. If you can get it, you can get it. Use it. If you can't get it, make your own. And if you don't want to make your own, try not to call your drink a Hurricane. If you're not going to use Fassionola, call it something else. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is our sweet. Let's add a half an ounce to start. And I'm just gonna see, this is like this is like the sherbet for a punch, if you're making a real punch. I wanna get this right before I add anything else. You know what? It's dead simple, but I do wanna add that extra half ounce of this, but I think we're really close. So it'll just be equal parts Fassionola, lime, and Cointreau. That's cool. It's got that tangy floral thing all happening at the same time. It's all in there. I like where this is going. It sets the sides of your mouth on fire, makes the taste buds on your tongue tingle and dance and do a cha-cha. I'm liking it. We're gonna add 2 ounces of Casamigos Blanca tequila. Why? Well, partially because it's the one that Meredith brought to the set for me, and I'm too lazy to look around. But when I saw it, I thought, you know what, this is good. I always got like, kind of, we did a big episode on this stuff. I kind of got like cotton candy vibes off of this, and I actually don't think that, not like powerful, but like as a flavor, I don't think that that's off the mark for what we want. So 2 ounces in the tin, Casamigos. So I'm gonna use this spiced rum. It is from the Smuggler's Cove book. If you want it, you're gonna have to make it yourself. I did a whole episode on spiced rum. I'm gonna actually put an ounce in here. I'm using with these big fat round numbers. I don't really tend to get into half ounce, quarter ounce until I've got a recipe that we're like refining. We're just getting like the broad strokes down. Let me just ask myself, does this still register as a margarita? Yes. Yeah, it registers as like a resort margarita, like a sweeter margarita. It's adulterated. It's not gonna have the exact same kind of like, woo, just like super crisp, refreshing snap of like a straight lime juice margarita. I could increase the lime juice from here. That's gonna throw our sweet balance way off, I think. I think that that's pretty great. That's a good starting place for me, for my interests, for my tastes. Let's shake it and see how it comes out. We will do it into a hurricane glass, thus making it a hurricane. So put my 1 ice cube in, and then the other one will crack. Okay, pour them together. I'm gonna do like a half gate pour. I wanna get a lot of that ice in there, but maybe just not like the biggest possible chunk. All right, I'm just gonna add a little bit more cracked ice to this, just normally like I would do with crushed ice or something like that, just to get the right look. Remember, we're workshopping this drink. We're making it up on the fly. I'm just gonna take this lime I got, I'm gonna make a wheel, make one of these guys, put a little notch in it, and I've got myself a little cocktail umbrella here. Let's stick it in my lime, put my lime there. Here it is. This is a Tequilacane, I'm calling it. What did they call it at the place? It was a hurricane margarita.
That's right.
I like Tequilacane better. This is my Tequilacane. It's a hurricane. It's a margarita. It's a Tequilacane. A migraine? It's kind of fun too. It's either a Tequilacane or a migraine. Why don't you vote in the comments? Let's see how it is. I think that's delicious. I'm so happy with that. It has that snappy lime. It is balanced on the sweetness. I mean, it's really, honestly, an ounce of sweet to an ounce of lime to go too far wrong, but it is balanced and the way you want it to be. It's sharp, biting, snapping lime with herbaceous tequila notes that you can't mistake for anything else. Tastes very tequila-y. I mean, it's a tequila forward drink, but the spiced rum, very happy with the choice to add that because that actually is adding just enough clove, cinnamon, black pepper, all the spices that we put into that when we made the allspice that went into that spiced rum when we made it. They're all there. They're not too loud. They're just enough to be in there to add this like very cool undercurrent throughout the drink. It's a kind of baking spice kind of thing that's going on. This drink's got like 5 different things going on in it at the same time. And if I was gonna really, really fine tune this, maybe I would spend some time in the mix, you know, like a DJ, a little more bass, a little more treble, bring in that French horn, a little less timpani, you know, whatever. But you can hear every instrument in the orchestra here, and they're all adding to the combined whole. Yeah, it's like the same color too. I'm loving the spiced rum of this more and more and more and more. It's so good. And I gotta say, like the Captain Morgan, if we just dumped Captain Morgan and all it adds is vanilla and sweetness. All right, after this, we're gonna get into my next bucket of ooze. What do we got in this one? Looks blue. Right after this. Hey there, campers. Ranger Greg here, and I'm partnered with Yellowstone Bourbon to take you on a mixological tour of the national parks. I spent a portion of my honeymoon in Yosemite, so it's got a special place in my heart, but also it's just a special place in general. It's our second national park, and if you've ever been there, I think it's easy to see why John Muir advocated so strongly for its designation, saying of it, "But no temple made with hands can compare with Yosemite. Every rock in its wall seems to glow with life." Beyond the experience of being made to feel smaller than I ever have in my life, I think the thing about Yosemite that sticks with me the most was the smell. It is a wonderful smell that I found all over the park. It's just this like mingling of earthy, mossy forest floor and incredibly sweet odors of the sugar pine and incense cedars wafting in the air. Sends shivers up my spine, just think about it. So in toasting Yosemite, my goal is to capture some sliver of that intoxicating aroma into a cocktail. And here's what I've got. This is going to be a Yosemite Old Fashioned. And it uses an ingredient that has nothing to do with Yosemite at all. But I think that when we put it all together, it will taste like Yosemite. Build this one in the glass. I'm going to do a little more than a 1/4 ounce. However sweet you like your old fashioned. And this is a pecan syrup. But why pecan? Because I think that pecan, when we put it together with the bourbon and the bitters, is going to be as close to the taste and smell of those sugar pines and incense cedars as you can get. This is a pine cone from a sugar pine. Oh, what a wonderful smell that is. I couldn't acquire syrup made from them. If somebody's got a incense cedar sugar pine syrup out there, I want it. I want to know what it is about. A couple dashes of Angostura bitters. We put that together with pecan. Ooh, it's gonna be good. And now, of course, we have the nutty caramel, peanutty taste of 2 ounces of our Yellowstone bourbon. Give that a goodly stir. I'm gonna pull a twist of orange, and this is a sprig of cedar. Ooh, drop it in. And there we have our Yosemite Old Fashioned. Let's see how it is. I think we did it. I think we got the taste of Yosemite in a glass, or at least my experience of Yosemite. It's a very subjective thing. Yellowstone Bourbon donates $1.50 for each bottle sold to the National Parks Conservation Association to help protect and preserve our national parks. To celebrate the 150th anniversary of both park and bourbon, they've released the Yellowstone Select Landmark Edition bottle series. Visit limestonebranch.com to find out where you can pick up a bottle in your area. And thank you, Yellowstone Bourbon, for sponsoring this episode and helping me take everybody on a tour around the parks in a glass. Now on with the show. Welcome back to the show, and if you want to pick up a bottle of that Yellowstone stuff that Ranger Greg's talking about, Curiata might have a special deal for you, so why don't you check it out at Curiata. Check out drink.curiata.com. Use the link in the pinned comment below. Let's get to it. We got our next bottle of booze. Let's see what's in here. This one is blue. Yeah, this is a very blue drink. I happened to sample this in the bar, and the first thing that came to my mind was, that is too sweet. That is too sweet. Oh my God. Okay. At first I was gonna say Swedish Fish, but now I'm gonna say sour watermelons. Not the Sour Patch Kids, but like they make the watermelon one, but with the sour scraped off. Just that watermelon, that artificial watermelon flavor, which I love. A lot of that in here. On the whole, this is way too sweet for a cocktail. Holy shit. That tastes like watermelon candy. Straight up. Fuck, I don't know if I can. I wanted to make a watermelon candy cocktail, and I don't know if I can pull that off. No, you don't need watermelon. Taste it. Oh, it's the peach.
With you on that
Watermelon candies are peach flavored. Because I remember that there's peach in that, and as soon as I think that, I'm like, oh, that is the taste of peach schnapps. Watermelon candies are peach flavored. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make a watermelon candy blue drink. What's in that officially, like on the menu?
Well, we also need to make sure that we tell the people that this is inspired by Kenny Chesney's island lifestyle.
This is inspired by Kenny Chesney's island lifestyle. It's for you, Kenny.
Okay, Blue Chair Bay, coconut rum, De Kuiper peach tree schnapps, Minute Maid lemonade, our signature sweet and sour, and then non-alcoholic blue curacao syrup.
So they probably have some maximum ABV that they got to stay south of, and that's why they're using the non-alcoholic blue curacao. We're not going to do that. We're going to use blue curacao. We're going to start with a little lemon. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit less sure of where I'm winding up with this. I don't really have anything specific in mind. They called for the house blend of sweet and sour. Mm-hmm. Okay. We're going to start with a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. I'm sure there'll be at least that much lemon juice in here. I went to a whole ounce of lemon accidentally. Autopilot, I poured a whole ounce. So I'm starting with a whole ounce of lemon. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna work with everything except for our base spirit, which will be Plantation 3-star. So let's now add an ounce of our Malibu and an ounce of the Cointreau Peachtree. This is kind of almost for research purposes. I just want to know what these taste like in equal parts. Too lemony. I'm gonna add a half an ounce of simple. It's actually a half an ounce. That's it. That's the flavor profile of that crazy watermelon flavor. I think this is gonna be a really easy drink. The only thing is we gotta make it blue. Probably a half an ounce of blue curacao. Won't throw off the balance, but we'll definitely add a lot of blue. Blue curacao, I mean, it's just gonna have a little orange flavor to it and sweetness. Yeah, it's still there. Now we're gonna add 2 ounces of our plantation rum. Now this could throw it off. You know, I'm not really sure what the result is gonna be here, but I gotta do it to find out. Boy, I'll tell you, we lose a lot of that candy watermelon vibe as soon as we throw the rum in there. So we have to make a choice. Do we want this to be a thing that's like full strength cocktail? Or should we wind up a little lower in proof and a little sweeter in that direction of more of a chain restaurant resort kind of cocktail thing? Essentially it tastes undersweet. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep going on this. I'm gonna add a half another ounce of our de Cointreau. Let's see how that came out. That put me back into that watermelon peach zone. This is a little bit more lemony than the version that they serve at the Texas Roadhouse. And I'm not really, I don't know, I'm back and forth on how I feel about that. But I think at the end of the day, I kind of like it. I think I want that lemoniness to it. The only thought I'm having now is maybe pineapple is what I want. But I think I would have to rebuild it if we go that route. Let me just see something. No, and it would throw off the color, it would make it green. Yeah, I think I'm gonna shake this. Let's shake it and see where we wind up. Get your big ice in there. No ice chips in your eyes. See how nice and blue that is. Shake, 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 shake. Okay, so here we go. This is, I don't know, my first go at this. I don't think it needs another go, but let's find out. This has got the same volume problem that the other one did. I'm not gonna sweat it this time.
Why not? Just put some more ice in it.
Okay. Normally I wouldn't just give Meredith whatever she wants, but she lost her human rights this past week, so it's fair. She gets another ice cube.
Thank you. So I get an ice cube. Oh, it's not funny.
Okay, there we go. Blue drink. So here we are, Kenny Chesney's Island Toilet Water. I like that. It still has those watermelon candy notes, which apparently watermelon candies are flavored like peach. Awesome. And also it has this like kind of lemonade, lemony, but not really lemony. It's just kind of tart, vaguely tart, non-specific tart. I was saying lemon because I put lemon into it, but if I'm objective about what I'm tasting, I wouldn't identify that as lemon. I would say it's generic tart or sourness, kind of like if you were using acid phosphate, you know, almost like that. I don't know how that happened. It is just what happened here. It might be the interplay between the Malibu and the lemon. That might be what's going on there. Do I taste the rum? Subtly. This is not a very loud rum. That's kind of its purpose. But on the whole, I gotta say, I like this drink. It's a very drinkable drink. It's also exceedingly blue. I kind of like it more when I don't look at it. If I look at it and taste it at the same time, something is off-putting about that. I'm not a perfect person. I can't explain that. I don't know. But I like the angled straw because it puts it out of my line of sight right here. And then I can taste it objectively without looking at this neon blue. I mean, it is blue. Does this speak to the Kenny Chesney Island lifestyle? You know, you're gonna have to judge that one for yourself. I don't know if I can be the arbiter of that, if I have those qualifications. But you tell me if this speaks to Kenny Chesney's island lifestyle. We got one more, should we do it? Why not? Let's do it. All right, so this is Cactus water. Now, the one thing about this is that in there, they had a tahini rim. You can see that our tahini rim has kind of poured into the drink. It's a tequila and soda with tahini. I think we just don't do this one. I'm gonna add
some bitters to it or something.
Okay. Don't mind if I do. It's a little bit watered down. Just like tahining the top of it. It's meant to be like kind of a diet drink. I've now completely ruined it. I did make it a lot better. By ruined, I mean for scientific purposes. I can no longer study the original cocktail. This drink is just a tequila and soda with a twist of lime and a tahini rim. I mean, I can make it. If I add sugar to it, if I like elevate it into like cocktail territory, make it into like a highball or something like that, or what I would do is you would make it into like a Collins, a tequila Collins. It will cease to be the kind of diet drink that it was intended to be. It will be a tastier drink, a fuller drink, a drink that has more like a complete flavor profile, because this does taste water that makes you drunk. That's what it tastes like. I can do that. I can make a better drink out of it. But I will say this, like, it's not gonna be the kind of low-cal thing that this was meant to be, if that makes any sense. But let's do it anyway. Let's do it anyway, right after this. I'm back, we're all back. We're gonna take this drink, we're gonna make a Collins out of it. So what I wanna do is I'm gonna rim this Collins with a liberal dose of tahini. Tahini is it's a spice. It's a thing you can buy in the grocery store or online. I'll put a link in the pin comment below where you can pick up some tahini. It's chili and lime and salt and a few other things in there. But it's good. It's good on fresh fruit. That's what people use it for. A lot of times they put it on watermelon. Some people I've heard call it watermelon spice. I was just going to take this previously used lime husk, kind of paint the outside of my glass in lime juice. I want to go really kind of aggressive and over the top here. And we're just going to really rim the hell out of this sucker. I think that looks pretty good, right? So we've got that set up. We're going to put that off to the side. It's ready to go. For this drink, what do I want? This is kind of going to follow the format of like a fizz or a Collins or a highball. So I usually do those like 1 ounce of sour, half an ounce of sweet, 2 ounces of spirit, top with club soda. That's generally the way I do it. And I think that's probably the way I'm going to do it now. I could make it a fizz, a tequila fizz, and add an egg white to it. I don't think that's gonna be very good though. I don't think that's gonna be good. I think we're just gonna keep it kind of like a Collins. And you know, in fairness, like a Collins doesn't need to be shook. You could just totally build this in the glass. I'm gonna add now an ounce of lime juice. I got lime juice and tahini and a cut on my finger. Woo! That's how you feel alive, baby. Ounce of lime juice. Do 3/4 an ounce of simple. And now we want our tequila. A bottle of Fortaleza Reposado has been placed here at the bar. One of the finest tequilas I think you can buy. Is it overkill? Yes. Is it available at Curiata? Yes, it is. Get yourself on over there and grab yourself a bottle of overkill tequila. Here we go. 2 ounces of Fortaleza Reposado. It really is. It's good stuff. I'm not like big on tequila. Not that I have anything against it. It's just like not my spirit of choice, but I really do like Fortaleza. All right, clean up the bar. Always keep the bar clean. Keep the bar clean, 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 clean. Clean bar, clean hands, clean happiness. All right, so we're gonna put our big ice cube in. Everybody always asks me, why do you do the big and the one small? Well, it comes from this like study that Dave Arnold did where he didn't believe that the ice you used really made a difference, and he proved himself wrong. And he found out that the most perfectly scientifically ideal was to have one big dense piece of ice and something cracked up and small alongside of it. Put our drink in there. Give that a shake. What's my next step here? I want to make seltzer. So I'm going to make a little club soda here. I got a chilled bottle of water or half a bottle of water. My iDrinkmate, available in the pinned comment below. This is the Drinkmate. I love this thing. It will carbonate any liquid, not just water. You can carbonate fruit juices, all kinds of fun things. Although I do typically just carbonate water. So we got our Collins glass here, our highball. I'm going to put a spear of ice in there. I'm gonna strain this into that, strain that away, and hit that with a little club soda. Fizz over a bit. Maybe give it a little up and down with the spoon just to get it help it incorporate. And here we have cactus water, they called it. I don't know, it's my own version of that. That's so good. That's so much better. I mean, it's not fair because that is a highball as a cocktail. It is sweet and sour balance, just right. Lime and spicy. It's delicious. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Now, in fairness, it's a very different drink than what we had over here, which is strictly a diet drink. It had no added sugar. I added like 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. I mean, come on, there's no comparison. It's ridiculous. If you don't want to add the simple, is it going to be as good? No, it won't, because you need that to offset and balance the lime juice. Will it be okay? Yeah, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. You know what you could do is if you didn't want to add like actual sucrose, take a watermelon. That would have been smart. I don't have any watermelon today. Take a watermelon. Take a couple chunks of watermelon and throw that into your shaker. Get that watermelon fructose in there and make yourself a watermelon cactus water with the same tahini rim. Everything else, do it exactly the same. Double strain it because you want to get as much pulp out as you can because that's going to rob you of your fizz when you add club soda to it. That would be good. But I'm going to tell you what, this is delicious. This is genuinely delicious. It is super exciting and hot and spicy too with the tahini rim. Might be my favorite drink of the night. I'm not going to lie. There's not a lot, like most of the drinks on my show, not most, but a lot of the drinks on the show are not things that'll wind up in my regular rotation. This is the kind of thing that could wind up in my regular rotation because it's pretty simple. It scratches a certain kind of flavor itch that like maybe nothing else will. And it's not like a big stunt of a drink, you know, like that's a good drink. It's just a good drink. Simple, straightforward, to the punch. Not too many ingredients, not too few. It's just kind of just right. Now, how do I like it without the rim? Let's say we bypass that, we drop in a straw. That's a good question. Still good, not nearly as interesting. The tahini is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Maybe if you do that, put it in the shaker. Put the tahini in the shaker. Or like get a, like I could also see, swap that out, throw in a couple drops of like smoked chipotle kind of hot sauce. Put that in the drink, that would be really good. If you're gonna bypass the rim, but I like the rim. I think that's the way to do it. There's that interplay between the tahini and the cocktail itself in your mouth. It's really cool. And the tahini forms as like a nucleation point, so when the seltzer hits it, it like fizzes. It kind of comes to life in your mouth. Put that on a menu somewhere. That's an easy drink that your bartenders can make that won't break the bank. That's a good one. That's one to serve. What do we make today? Meredith, tell us what we learned.
As always, we learn that when you use real ingredients, drinks taste better.
That is a lesson we keep relearning, isn't it? Yeah, I actually have to say, I think that all three of these are great. You're going to find me on Kenny Chesney's Island Lifestyle in the links right below in my social media. That's where I'm at. I'm down at the Kenny Chesney Life in the social media locations appearing in your very eyes, such as Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Patreon. But I will see you guys soon with another episode of HTD. Thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun with this one, actually. I'm looking forward to the next restaurant that we're heading to, and we will be doing that very soon in another episode of HTD. Say goodnight, Meredith.
Good night, Meredith.
Here are 4 episodes. Watch them. Again. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Woo!